Good Sunday morning, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates. Friends, this is where the Valley's favorite real estate agent comes to tell you everything you need to know about buying or selling your home. Now, here are your hosts this morning, Kelly Warren and Jim Warren.
Good morning, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we are in the studio today to talk to you about real estate right here in the Mahoning Valley. I'm Kelly, and as usual, I'm sitting here with the famed, handsome Jim Warren.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our show.
Look at you. I think he thinks that he has a few extra listeners this week.
Why do you think I think that?
Because it was the talk of the town at our Christmas dinner with your cousins. I think you think that everybody's going to tune in and listen to Handsome Jim.
I think Dominic will listen.
Yeah, maybe.
Hi, Dom.
You got little shout-outs now?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so you picked up an extra listener or two by telling everybody about Handsome Jim?
I don't know if they'll wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. That's a big stretch.
Okay.
That's a stretch for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So to the people who are listening, who are pleased enough to tune in to Handsome Jim every week.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you fans.
Aw, how nice.
I couldn't do it without them.
So how was your Christmas?
It was really good. It's really good. How was yours?
It was good. I breathed a sigh of relief when it was over, you know.
You know, it's funny because we do all that work and all that build up, and then when it's done, you're like, finally.
Yeah. I didn't realize how exhausted I was until like the day after, because I like got up and like I'm going to work, and then I was like, I'm beat.
Right. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So we talked last week about saving to purchase a home.
Okay.
What you can do is save up to buy for a home.
Okay.
And so now I want to get into the next phase of that being the purchase contract. So what information's on the purchase contract? What do they need to do? Where do we go from here?
So after saving your money, which is, you know, that's not always easy for a lot of people, and a lot of people who don't have disposable income, that's hard to come up with. But if you're one of those people who's blessed and smart enough and disciplined enough to pull this off, now you need to make sure, did we go through the pre-approval process?
Well, we have in weeks past. In different episodes, we've talked about getting financed and stuff like that. So obviously get a loan. Yeah.
So assume we're past that.
If you didn't listen to that episode, or if you need a refresher on that, just give us a call, 330-717-2689. We'll point you in the right direction of getting your finances in order to get your loan.
Correct. I believe it was episode 26. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I made that up. Don't go
How
back.
do you know that? Whoa.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I make that stuff up all the time. Assume we're past that part, and now we're...
So you've saved, you've gotten pre-approved, you've looked at some houses, you found a house.
Yeah. So this is the house.
This is the house. You're making an offer. What do you do? What do we got to do to make your offer stand out? What information do we need?
Well, now we got to sit down and present an offer. You know,
put together an offer that's going to be presented to the sellers.
Right.
That in a market like this, where we're still crazy, because for so long now we've been in a good market, and it's the middle of winter, or the beginning of winter, and we're in a good market. We're still getting multiple offers, and houses are still selling quickly.
Correct.
So when you're putting together this offer, you know, some houses you like, and if you don't get it, fine, it's whatever. You'll find another house.
Right.
Some houses you love, and you're going to cry yourself to sleep if you don't get it.
Correct.
So if it's that house, and you're going to be crying yourself to sleep over it, what do we got to do to get you this house?
So you have to make a very strong offer. This is one of those things that I always talk to my clients, and everybody's like, "Oh, no way, man! I want a deal." It's not always going to happen. So if this is the house that meets all of your needs, like it's got everything that you absolutely want in it. Understand that, and understand that has value, and that costs money. So when we sit down and we draw up a contract, that's a huge conversation that we're going to have. Like, at what point is your point in this house? So let's say they're asking $200,000 for the house. Okay, and you want to go in at 170, well, that's a big drop off of what they're expecting.
So let's talk pricing here for a second. So two ways to look at the contract. Like I said, you're going to cry yourself over to sleep if you don't get it, and it's only been on the market for a couple of days and other people are looking at it. or let's throw an offer out there and see what happens.
Correct.
So let's look at both of these. So if it's the latter, let's make an offer. I like the house. I don't like it for what they're asking. They're asking $200. I like it, but I don't think I like it that much.
Right.
How does our client go in? What's their best strategy?
Well, again, you have to know your number. You have to know what is your number. So let's say your number is, okay, it's not the 200, obviously, but let's say it's 185. So you want to try and get a good deal on it. You start at 175 and you see what they come off of that 200. See what happens.
Right. So your number can come from a couple different places. It can come from, I'm not approved for 200. I'm approved for 189. So I got to get the house below 189. I want to start at 175 and we can negotiate back and forth. Your number can come from, it's not worth 200. I've looked at it and I think this and this need fixed, or I've seen the comps and I think it's only worth 189. Mm-hmm. So I want to get it for less than that. Your number can just come from, you know what, maybe it's worth 200, but I'm somebody who wants a bargain and I won't pay top dollar for a house and I'm only going to pay this for the house just on the principle of that's all I want to do. So wherever you're coming from, often when people have that, if it's listed at 200 and 189 is their max, they're not paying $1 over that. Keep in mind that offers get sometimes countered back and forth. So They might offer a little bit lower to end up at their final 189. Right.
And I see that on both sides. I see, sellers that come in and say, hey, I want 200. Like, that's it.
Right.
I've had sellers say, no, this is my number. That's why it's listed there. I can't come off of it. And they never have. And they've gotten it or they haven't gotten it. And then they never sold the house. So I've seen it go both ways. Mm-hmm. But here's the big thing that people don't realize is as real estate agents, it's not our home. It's not our money.
Yeah.
So it's not our final decision. Now, we do get asked our advice often. And we have honest conversations with our clients on, how and what to do and how to, move forward in a lot of this stuff. So it's pretty cool.
So on the flip side, the house is listed at 200. It's only been on the market for a few days. Everybody else in town's looking at it. There's nothing else that compares to it. You want this house. This is the house. You can't live without it. What's your advice to your client? Where do they need to start their offer?
So I tell my client, be prepared to go over asking price. So if this is a house that is hot, brand new, it's going into multiples, you better be ready to go over asking price.
So how do we do that with them?
I mean, you have to be more specific on the question. Like we write it on a contract.
So I like
how do
to
I
tell
have
my
that
client,
conversation with them? Okay.
So I that's my question to them is actually, are you going to cry yourself to sleep over this house?
Right.
Like if I come back to you and say, oh, somebody else won it because they wrote the offer for 202, and you tell me, oh man, I would have paid 203 for it. I need to know that now.
Right.
So what I usually suggest is we're writing a purchase contract right now. We're going to put 200 on it. We're going to put the asking price on it. And then we're going to use an addendum to escalate our price higher than that if necessary.
Correct.
So, okay. So we're making this offer for you. Let's go this route. We're going 200,000. Next thing on the contract is earnest money. You putting a deposit down?
Well, of course.
How much?
So it's a multiple offer contract?
Yep.
I'm going to put a big number, as big as I can.
Okay.
So that they know, hey, I'm serious about this, and I'm not going to just walk away because I'm bored.
So earnest money can be any amount. It can be zero. It can be $100. It could be 20% of the purchase price. Yep. I mean, it can be anything. That's a good faith deposit that's going to get held in escrow. I had a client offer full price as earnest money. Oh,
because he was paying cash. He's like, I'll just write you the check right now.
Wow.
So
so that speaks volumes to the seller. You're not going to walk away from that.
Exactly.
Makes the title company sweat a little bit when you hand them that check.
Right.
Okay, so that money is going to be held in escrow until the closing. There are several clauses in the contract that explain what happens to this money. If the house doesn't appraise for over the asking price, or if it doesn't appraise for what you're bidding on it, that can be an issue. Failure to obtain financing, if your loan gets denied, if you lose your job, if anything like that becomes an issue. Home inspection, if the house doesn't meet your standards for the home inspection. All of these are reasons why the buyer can get their money back. Mm-hmm. In other words, though, the seller can get the money back if you just don't buy the house, if you find another house that comes on the market that you like better, if you just say, hey, you know what, never mind, we're not going to move right now. Or if your relationship status changes, sometimes we'll see people go through a breakup and then they'll say, we can't buy the house without the other person's income or whatever. So any of those kind of life situations that cause you to not purchase, the seller's going to end up with your earnest money.
Yeah, it can be tricky. There's a lot of different things, and it's why we have contracts. And I'll have clients say, well, just tell them I'll do this and just tell them I'll do that. And I'm like, nope. If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. Because if something comes up, they're going to refer back to that contract, and it doesn't say that you will let them keep the lawnmower. It doesn't say, all the appliances stay. That contract is the final decision between the buyer and the seller, regardless of, hey, I got a text from Agent B who said, yeah, that should be fine. Agent B isn't the seller or the buyer, so Agent B can't tell me if it's okay. So if it's not in writing and signed off on by both parties, it doesn't exist.
True.
So it's fun stuff.
So next on the contract after earnest money is what type of loan is this going to be? What type of loan did you already get pre-approved with?
Right.
What are you going with? And sellers can look at loans a couple different ways, especially if we're in that multiple offer situation. They may prefer a conventional loan over a VA loan. And those are things that they can take into consideration when they're looking at multiple offers at once. Correct. So you want to make sure that you've got your best foot forward there. Appliances. What about asking for appliances in a multiple offer?
So again, it depends. If you're going into multiples and there's going to be a bidding war, I would take it off. I wouldn't ask for any of the appliances because that's an expense that the seller has to.
I would say, so in the multiple listing, it says in there what's included. And those are usually, if the seller's moving into a house that already has other appliances,
they've already made
want
this
to get
decision.
Yeah. So I would honestly just ask for whatever they're offering. If they're saying kitchen appliances stay and washer and dryer don't, I would put on the contract kitchen appliances, and I would not put on the contract washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Now on that other side, if this is not a multiple offer situation and you want all the appliances and you want the riding mower and you want the dining room table and you want the big screen TV hanging on the wall, you can ask for whatever you want to ask for. There's ways for us to do that and get those included in the sale for you, but they do take away from your offer when you're in a bidding war.
Correct.
So, home inspection.
Yeah.
If somebody wants this house and they're competing against other buyers, should they have a home inspection?
Well, I always recommend a home inspection.
Right.
However, it's your option. You as a buyer, it's your decision.
Well, I've even seen people who go and have the home inspection before writing the offer. I think that's genius. Rather than waiving the home inspection, which somebody could do if they want. It's not our suggestion, but if they wanted or needed to waive the home inspection, they could have it pre-inspected prior to bringing that offer, and then the seller will know, okay, nothing else is going to come up. We've already addressed that.
Yeah.
Or another good way to handle that, on the contract, there's a blank there for a number of days. And generally, we write home inspections in 10 days, maybe 7 days. But what if you said, I'll have my home inspection in 2 days? Then your offer might look better than other offers having the home inspection in 10 days because the seller will know if there's any other issues. I'm not stuck in this contract for too long.
Right. So all of those are beneficial in the seller's point of view at this point. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, which is really cool.
Something else to consider is the closing period and the possession period.
Yep.
So on the contract, it says this offer is open for acceptance until blank. We'll close by blank and we'll take possession on blank. Where do we go with that? What dates are we filling in there?
So if you're doing this offer is acceptable until, so if they know they're getting multiple offers or they're going to have offers coming in, you want to reply as quick as possible as a buyer. Mm-hmm. However, as a seller, they want to reply as slow as possible. So, and here's the kicker, they're not under contract. They didn't agree to your offer.
Well, when you make the offer and it says that offer to be accepted by, that is a courtesy. You can rescind your offer if it's not accepted by that point. You can pull your offer. Correct. But again, if you're going to cry if you lose this house, you're probably not going to do that.
Correct.
So, however, I kind of like to put a little pressure on them with that. On a multiple offer situation, if I'm giving you over asking price and you can have as long as you want to stay in the house and I'll have my inspection done right away and my financing's in order and here's a big down payment and I don't need your washer and dryer, I'm going to want you to respond to me like in 8 hours instead of 48 hours, because go ahead, take a quick look at the other offers. They're not as good as mine. Tell me I got the house.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's a little bit of that supply and demand kind of like, you know, putting the pressure on them a little bit too.
Well, right. And you have to be prepared as a buyer to uphold your end of that deal. Like you have to be ready to say, hey, I gave you 8 hours. We're rescinding our offer and move on. So,
but if this is the house you're going to cry over, they're probably not going to do that. So if the seller comes back to you and says, hey, you know, we have one more that might be coming in tomorrow. We want to wait until tomorrow before we make a decision. You'll probably just go ahead and extend that period so that your offer waits to see how that goes.
But is the seller willing to lose it for that?
Maybe. We'd have to see.
Yeah.
So all of these are great questions and issues. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home this year and you need the expert negotiators in your corner, that's when you want to call Kelly Warren and Associates. You can reach out to us anytime via call or text at 330-717-2689. And of course, you can check us out online at kellysoldit.com and put in an inquiry there. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this.
Hey, you frustrated because you're trying to sell your home, but all you're getting are excuses? Hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you about Great American right in your backyard that could guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline that you agree to, or she'll have it bought for cash. I'm talking about Kelly Warren with Kelly Warren and Associates Real Estate Solutions. She services the entire Mahoning Valley, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells an average 3 homes every week. Now, I've talked to a lot of agents and invested millions of dollars into real estate, so believe me, I know one mistake can mean losing a lot of money. Kelly spends thousands of dollars every month to attract hundreds of buyers, which helps homes sell fast and for the most money. Now, you risk nothing, since at any point, if you're not happy, you can get out of the contract free and clear and pay nothing. But trust me, that's not going to happen. Call Kelly at 330-717-2689. That's 330-717-2689, or online at kellysoldit.com. That's kellysoldit.com. And consider your home sold.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we are in the studio talking about real estate right here in the Mahoning Valley.
With Handsome Jim.
With Handsome Jim, of course.
Forget.
Who else would be in the studio with us this morning? So,
we bring in another Jim, and we'll call him not as Handsome Jim.
Oh, remember when we brought in Handsomer Jim?
Yeah,
so
whatever.
That didn't go so well for you.
Whatever.
If you have any real estate needs, as usual, you can reach out to us at 330-717-2689 or online at kellysoldit.com.
kellysoldit.com.
And of course, you can email any questions that you have real estate related to Ask Kelly at kellysoldit.com. All right, we're going to hop into our home picks of the week before we get back to contract negotiations. So this week, I've got a newer one for you. This has been on the market for about a month, 2537 Walnut Street in Girard. I like that Girard area.
Yeah. They've got some nice little neighborhoods around there.
They do. So this is a buy level. It's listed at $120,000. It's kind of Weathersfield Township at Girard Schools. It is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,700 square feet. It's got that buy level floor plan where you're going to walk in on the middle level. You'll go upstairs, and up there you've got kitchen, living room, bedrooms, bathroom. And then in the lower level, you've got that family room, extra space, could be another bedroom, whatever you need it to be, laundry, half bath, all the good stuff. Yeah. This one's got an attached garage and an updated kitchen. So granite countertops, updated, ready to move into. It's also got a deck off of the kitchen with a pool and everything too. So $120,000 in Girard on Walnut, and you can find that online at kellysoldit.com. And Jim has a new one for us in Austintown.
Yeah, so this one is 2882 Penny Lane, and that's in Austintown. Penny Lane's over by, that's between Kirk
kind of
and
the Cornersburg
New
area.
Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a nice area. I like those over there. This is a 3-bedroom, 2 fireplaces. That's impressive. It's a ranch home, so it's all one floor, which is nice. Mm-hmm. That kind of gives you that spacious living. This is only listed at $84,900.
I feel like that's a great price, and this is a new listing for us. So this is one of those situations like we're talking about here with these offers.
Wow.
You know, other houses in that neighborhood are selling for $100 and $120 and everything. So this one only being on the market for $80s, get your offers ready, you know?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And it's almost got a full acre, 0.79 of an acre. So it's even going to have a huge yard.
And it's that desirable Lawson Town area. So be sure to check that one out online as well, or give us a call to schedule a showing. It's not going to last long. You can call us at 330-717-2689. So we're going to hop back over to making offers, and I'm going to take in a different direction.
Uh-oh, that makes me nervous.
Well, we talked about the multiple offer on the purchase contract.
So we didn't go through possession.
Oh, we didn't. You're right. Okay. So obviously, if this is that I'm going to cry over it situation and you're in multiples, you want to do whatever is in the seller's best interest. So with possession, sometimes one party can be displaced a little bit. So you as the buyer are going to close on the house, and the second you close on it, you are going to want your keys, and you're going to be really antsy about that. I can tell you from experience.
And different places around the world, around the country, do this differently, which is crazy.
Well, our area in the past has had this weird 30 days post-closing that just everybody has just fallen in line with. I get to stay in my house for 30 days after closing. And nowhere else in the country really does this. Everywhere else at the closing table, it's now somebody else's house. They get keys. And they're out. We're trying, I think, as an industry to catch up to the rest of the areas, and that 30 days seems to be shrinking, and people are doing more of 20 and 14 and 7 days and stuff like that. But still not common to do 100% immediate occupancy on a occupied house.
Correct.
So what this leads to, though, is then the buyers being uncomfortable. If you're going to say, I'll close on it, I'll give you my money, I'll give you my signature, it's now my house, and you get to live there for an extra 30 days, that means that you as the buyer who now own this house need to either continue paying rent or live with a family member or whatever. But
so
if
you
this
actually
is the
take
house
on
that
more
you
of a
want,
cost, right?
Yeah. If this is the house you want and you don't want to lose it, it might be worth that 30 days to that seller. Somebody else might come in with an offer the same as yours, over asking price and real nice and real pretty and real clean, but they might say, I want immediate possession. So this could be the thing that makes or breaks it for you if you give the sellers time to move out. So if you give them that free 30 days, they like that. Now, if it's a vacant house, it's certainly okay to say, I want the immediate possession. Or if your situation demands, like, hey, I'll pay you over ask price, I'll have my home inspection quick, but we're relocating and the kids are starting school and I got to be in on this day. If that's a deal breaker for you, then put that in there.
Again,
that's,
but it comes down to, is this like that house you're going to like cry about because you didn't get it?
Yeah.
So that's what's so awesome about our job. This is the part that I love, is when we sit down and we try to bring these two people together to make both sides happy. Like, it's so fun to me.
The crazy thing about it is you do not see the other people's offer. So you know, okay, there's another offer on the table. And if you were telling me I'm going to pay $2,035 for the house, and if I went back to you tomorrow and said, oh, somebody else wrote $204, would you pay $2,045? And you're like, yeah, I would do it. But that phone call doesn't exist. So you've got to just give your best offer right now. So if there was multiple offers on the table and possession is what it came down to, and hey, man, you said I'll give you 14 days in the house, and the other people said I'll give you 30 days in the house, and that's why they got it. Would you give them 30 days in the house? And you'd tell me, yeah, I guess it'll be a pain, but I'll do it. You're not going to get that phone call.
Not always. I mean, there's different circumstances that it could happen. But really, if I'm sitting there and I have two offers in front of me as a seller and they're identical and this one gives me a little bit better, I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to waste my time with the other one.
Oh, yeah. When you've got the multiple offers in front of you, you're not going back and forth to call the other people and say, hey, would you? If both of the offers are good and one of them is meeting all of your needs as the seller, you're going to pick one of the offers.
Yeah.
All right. So multiple offers and all the good stuff over asking aside, let's look at a contract from the other way. So maybe you're making an offer and you own a home now that you need to sell before you can close on this home.
Okay.
So in a multiple offer situation, this is real hard that a seller's going to pick your offer with a contingency if any other offer doesn't have a contingency. So that's why I'm pulling that off the table right now. But let's talk about it. If you call me today and you say, hey, Kelly, I want to buy a house. Let's go look at houses. And while we're out and I say to you, hey, where do you live now? Tell me a little bit about your situation. And you say, oh, well, I own a house, but I don't want to put it on the market until I know that I find something that I like.
We get that a lot. We get a lot of buyers that say, I don't want to sell my house until I see if there's something I like better out there.
So I might suggest to you, let's do a market analysis. Let me tell you what your house is worth. Let's try and get your house on the market. We can make selling your house contingent upon you finding something. But if you're just cautious about that and you say, no, I've got to find something first. And so we start looking at houses, yet I know you own a house that you have got to sell before you can close on this.
It makes it hard on you as a buyer to get an accepted contract, because no one wants to accept a contract contingent upon you selling your house because they don't know your house. They're not familiar with your house. And let's say your house is worth $200,000 and it'll sell at $200,000, but you want to list it at $250,000.
Right. There's that unknown when your house isn't on the market. Yeah.
So it's scary to a seller to accept a buyer's offer who has to go through that process.
So there's a couple different ways that you as a buyer can do this. You find a house you love, you agree, okay, let's make an offer on it, and once it's accepted, then I'll get my house on the market. You can do a contingency, just straight contingent upon my house selling. Once my house sells, this will be sold. Buyers prefer that.
Correct.
Sellers, however, prefer something called a right of first refusal.
Correct.
So they'd like to continue marketing their home and showing their home to other buyers. And if somebody else comes in and says, hey, I want to buy this house too, then you have a right of first refusal. And in that addendum, that's drawn up the timeline and everything with it. So somebody might take your contingent offer, but say your contingency is a right of first refusal, and I'm going to give you 48 hours to make a decision if I get another offer. And at that point, you can decide, you know what, maybe it's not going to work out. I definitely have to sell my house. I'll back up and let these people buy it. Or you can say, oh, this is the house. I can't lose it. I'm going to find a way. And you can get a co-borrower or take out an equity line or
do a bridge loan.
Yeah,
Yep. There's all
anything
kinds of
that you need
things.
to do
Yep.
to get the deal done. But now you've got your house and this house. So there's...
Yeah, you get 2 house payments. That's tough.
Yeah, different ways to work with it. I mean, you know, we're in a good enough market. If you know your house is good enough and that it's going to sell and you're not too worried about that, or if you have enough savings to float yourself for a couple of months, you know, certainly different ways to work all that out. So what's your take, Big Jim? Handsome Jim.
Again, like I said, this is my favorite part. And as you get into this stuff, it's fun, and
like a chess game.
It really is. We are playing chess, not checkers. So it's so cool to see the different ways and avenues. And every buyer and seller is different in how you get those puzzle pieces to fit together. It's what makes our job fun.
You hear that? Call Handsome Jim to play chess. We are
put together your puzzle.
so thrilled that you've tuned in and listened to us throughout 2019. And we're very much looking forward to the new year and real estate radio and where this is going to take us. So for all of your real estate needs in 2020, certainly give Kelly Warren and Associates a call at 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysoldit.com. Thanks and have a nice day.